Internet, and welcome to the podcast of the century.
Hey, Atin made it just in time.
I feel you may be exaggerating.
No!
Atin,
No.
put your mic closer to your mouth. You're quiet again.
No, I'm not. I never exaggerate, thank you very much.
You
Blatant
always
false.
exaggerate.
No. No.
Okay, well, Sneaky, I'm gonna need you to roll a d20 with disadvantage. Then you're gonna have to make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Look on the bright side. Your charisma's like a +3. So
No, Max, let's be real. It's a -3.
That scared me.
no. Actually, no. Sneaky's actually like kind of charismatic. I'm willing to give him like a +2 or +3 modifier.
It depends on alcohol.
Why so sudden? I have a countdown timer.
Oh, he didn't see the countdown timer.
Apparently, he didn't see the countdown timer.
Are you a new person?
Yes, they are a new person.
Wow.
Well, new person.
How the fuck did you end up here?
How do you end up here at the start of the
way
stream?
most people do. They click on it.
Yeah, but like, there's no fucking way that you ever make front page. There's no way.
No, dude, you really.
Who was randomly
That
searching
didn't
for
work.
this garbage?
No, I am on the front page for podcast talk shows. Because like, front page is people with more than 3 views.
Oh.
That's sad.
But let's see. We got today. So we got a choice of some Harry Potter. We got lots of Harry Potter actually. Iron Man Worm. We got some Worm. We got some Ranma. Got some Marvel. Got some Ruby.
What's even Marvel chicken?
Marvel?
Why is there a Worm League of Legends crossover in this list?
Where?
Because League of Legends is very popular.
It's a bit
Oh,
further
there it
down.
is.
But
I
none of us
saw
know anything about
Worm
League
League
of
of-
Legends.
I do.
do.
Purposefully.
Wait, you
Well,
do?
okay, I mean, I know things about it.
Yeah, we
insofar
were
as
we were
it's
finishing
mechanically
up a
themed
conversation
Yoda.
before the. I got here from a fan. Oh, you read Moth's chapter. Yeah, I actually helped him beta that a little bit. So neat.
And I was the main beta on it. Trust me,
Yeah.
it was not
Oh,
Yeah, though that was a fucking horror show. Jesus Christ.
wait, did you
Oh.
talk Moth into? Did you talk Moth into shilling for us or
Oh
something?
no, he
Yeah,
totally
he did.
shilled
Lost
for
it.
us.
What did you
didn't even
threaten
have
him
to-
with?
Nothing. We baited his chapter.
Yeah. A 25,000 word monolith of a chapter.
Jesus Christ, the passive voice. Like you don't understand. Like Moth has like this obsession with the passive voice.
Oh,
and it was-
adverbs.
Oh, so many fucking adverbs. And Nora is apparently the hammer-wielding orangeette of Team Juniper. Like, that's how he referred to almost every single time. And it's just like, oh my fucking... I just want to take like a 9mm and just be like, alright, time to play Russian roulette.
Wait, I changed.
Russian
changed
roulette with a 9mm. You sure you want to do that, mate?
You win every time!
I changed his I changed one of his Naruto descriptions to Boruto's dad. He didn't notice it until the chapter was up there.
I'm sorry.
You're a horrible person.
Alright, well, let's get back on track here.
Well, I guess we learned never to let him beta our chapters.
Hello, new people! Hello, old people! Welcome to Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9001, hosted by me, the lovable Sneaky Devil, joined by Max Force and Atin, and Cruel Rune sometimes occasionally pops in here. He's the vaguely Indian-sounding British guy.
Yes.
Oh,
It's the opposite way though. I'm the vaguely British sounding Indian guy.
Yeah,
What is being British, really?
Colonial life, mate.
lots of tea. I don't know.
No, I was making fun of a
Yes.
recent article from The Guardian. that legitimately had that title of what is really being British.
I mean, based on everything my British friends have told me, it's a lot of drinking tea and a lot of pretending that you aren't bothered by someone who is actually bothering you a great deal.
Yes. So, anyway, here on Fanfiction Contempt Theater, we sit down, we look
sorry,
at
I need to back up a
fanfiction.
second.
Hmm?
Atin, you just described a number of Southerners.
Yes. We sit down, we
there's
reread
a
fanfiction, we comment on the
You guys
fanfiction,
bring
we make a theater production out of it, one could say. There'll be a sin counter here for you all to just pop in every once in a while and be like, oh, hey, that's a sin counter.
I can't
What's it
wait
used
for?
for? Who knows?
I can't wait
Numbers
for
mean
the
nothing.
next counter we have.
Welcome to Fanfiction Contempt Theater, where the sins mean nothing and there's always fetishes.
I love that show.
Oh, wait, you know what?
No,
that should be the
Isley-
next counter,
Isley's
Sneaky.
not in the chat.
That's a fetish counter.
Yeah.
I mean, we could literally
Alright,
go
and
to
of
the
course,
actual
before
story.
we start this fic, I do have to say, per Twitch guidelines, do not contact any of the authors featured in this podcast, and they specifically mention you can do so, as that would be considered harassment under the guidelines. So, yeah, but you can follow along, as the link is in the Discord if you want to read along, or you can just listen to my dulcet tones lull you to sleep. So today's fic is going to be a Worm League of Legends crossover called Quo Vadis. I don't speak foreign, so I don't know what that means. I woke up in
You
Worm.
should try to be less American.
Wait,
when
it
you
literally
say
means
that.
where are you going?
Okay. I woke
Where
up
are you
in
going?
Worm.
Yeah. Good old Latin.
I woke up in Worm. Upside, I have heroic spirits. Downside, Worm. Sorta serious fic. Hashtag reincarnation transmigration. Hashtag original character self-insert. Adventure. Ready for it.
So
Humor.
The artistic liberties are already starting. So
I would
that's
like
great.
everyone to put on your humor cap, because whenever a story lists itself as humor, it's almost guaranteed to not be funny in the slightest. So, let us go on and get into the author's note. New fic! Exclamation point. This week was supposed to be Gaming Guardian's turn on the block, and oh god.
It is shared account.
What is it? Wait, is this actually a shared account like us?
No, this is just Gaming
Oh,
Guardian.
Okay,
Aaron
no,
Phantom Weiss dies and is dragged into the Pokemon world by Arceus.
Arceus.
And the Celestial Dragons?
Celestial Dragons. Is this?
That's the-
Oh, he's referring to Kyurem, Zekrom, and Reshiram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the big three legendaries. Like, by the way, I think they came before Arceus. I'm not sure.
No, they didn't.
No,
Nothing came
no.
before him. Besides Mew. Mew came before him.
Arceus was like one.
Arceus is a woman, girl,
No,
female.
Mew.
Arceus is female.
It has
Mew-
no
Mew-
gender.
Mew-
Sorry,
Mew.
it's a thing.
Arceus is male, canonically. Mew is female.
Mate, canon, neither of them have a gender. You can literally just go to their fucking face.
Except they're played by a male and female voice actor, respectively.
Yeah.
That
That's
has
not-
nothing to do with it.
Naruto's
It
played by
does
a
with
chick.
portrayal.
Naruto's played by a chick.
Anyway, well, yes, but he sounds like an
Goku's played
annoying
by-
brat. So, you know,
Goku's played by Goku till day is played by a woman.
that's
I love that it's the same voice actress, by the way.
It is.
that
It's fucking
explains so much.
Like a 70-year-old woman now, I think. She's in her 70s and still able to yell with
That
the
is-
best of them.
That explains so much. Anyway, so in compensation, Aaron gains the powers of the gamer, edited to suit the new world in which he finds himself. Gamer OP self-insert reincarnation transmigration.
1,000.
This guy really enjoys.
Okay, eventual OP.
Yeah, no,
That-
literally, this
Interesting.
person's every single one of this person's stories. is a OC self-insert in which they die and end up in X universe with overpowered powers.
They're also popular stories, which really terrifies me.
That makes me actually kind of sad, I'm gonna be honest.
I know, same here.
How
Is it
dare
parody?
you assume it's gender? I like this person. I
Mate,
like this person.
This thing is in the community. Check out the community. I want to see what community this is.
I make
Community.
good on
Oh,
my
yeah, he's got a
promises,
community.
so don't worry, that's coming too. The big news is I'm releasing a chapter of this new fic for the next 3 days as well, and if you've migrated here from my other fics, please don't forget to tell me what you think of it. I said I'd have a League Worm and Naruto cross. Oh god, a Naruto League cross. Something to make up for the dumpster fire that was finding my image. What was finding my image?
By the way,
That was
Max, are you still looking for
the...
our chat?
Anyways, yeah, League and Naruto. There's actually.
Oh,
one
he deleted it.
story.
Oh,
Oh.
wow. This, at the very least, this author is self-aware to a degree.
Wait, hold on. I welcome both positive and negative feedback. Honestly, a lot of stories I enjoy reading, and most of them are developed more than others. If any of these writers, I'm looking at you, Straight Elf, Core, Noodle Hammer, and Crossbrain, would read my work, I would be honored. Okay, well, I'm actually going to look up some of these people later on, because,
Yeah, I don't know who Straight Elf or... I don't think I know Straight Elf or Crossbrain, but
No,
you
I
and I are
haven't heard of
definitely
those two.
familiar with Core and Noodle.
Noodle Hammer, though.
Noodle Hammer, you're very familiar with.
He's actually writing a Harry Potter
That's not what we're here for, Sneaky.
Song of Ice and Fire story now. And
Peepee, no.
mm.
It's a peepee, no.
Oh god, it's a semi-crossover with Fate. Oh yeah, by the way, this is a Worm, Fate, League of Legends crossover in which the Fate Holy Grail War system is used to summon League heroes.
Yeah. Okay, like, look through the author's note. I will give the author this. They went the high road and did not stick this under Fate's Stay, but they should have just said, I'm just taking inspiration for the summoning power or something.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's a
Like-
good thing to do. It's a good habit to maintain because all of my stories have Shin Megami Tensei elements, and I always mention it. Like, yeah, I really like SMT, so here's some elements. No,
Yeah,
what
like,
the fuck, I don't know.
here's something that inspired this.
Like, all my stories generally will end up with a dead god. So yes, I really like that kind of
Yeah.
story. So
In fact,
you-
the fact that they took the time to be like, I'm gonna stick this in the crossover section for two, like, somewhat small categories, to the point where the Worm League crossover section apparently does not exist according to fanfiction.net. Are you drunk, fanfiction?
Yeah, boy.
he's always wrong.
Wait, was that not aimed at me?
No.
No. Although it
Oh.
is a good question to ask.
Wait, are you already drunk?
Ah!
My,
The bottle
Max,
says yes.
I'm slowly getting
Max, if he's already drunk, should we just
Okay.
start playing Gundam now?
Alright,
Oh,
yeah,
Wait,
Sneaky.
I'm Atin,
Sneaky,
I got a copy of
for
Breaker.
reference,
Hello, Nexus.
this is
A breaker or version?
this story.
Yes.
This story makes up
I
half
told
of
you,
the crossover
I
section
told
for
you that was
this.
a bad
Yes.
idea. I don't think you'll
No,
like
I
it.
got it for £5. You don't understand. I got it for a
I'm
lump.
just gonna mute you fuckers and continue on with the story.
Well, I'm still.
Oh, please! You haven't been talking about the story for the last 15 minutes.
I'm dead! I'm an edgelord. I'm
He actually
joking
mute us.
about the second part, not the first. I actually did die. I know. If you died, how were you talking? And all that. Fuck if I know. Seriously, long story short, I met the root. Call it whatever you want. Kasha, Arceus, Truth God, Bing Bang Breath. One above all, Great Red, whatever, doesn't matter. Sometimes the root is a being. Other times it's a place. Still others, it's a scientific principle. Truth is, doesn't matter to my story. Just know it exists something in as the origin of the universe. I died, met root. Sounds crazy. I found what every alchemist, magus, scientist has been searching for by doing nothing beyond what we all do eventually in the end. Go belly up like a fucking goldfish. That's how I died, you know? I went swimming in the bayou, got my foot caught in some asshat's fishing line, and while I was thrashing, my face got caught on a boat propeller. It's not the most pathetic way to die out of there, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be anyone's ideal way to kick the bucket either. I wish I could tell you that I had a bright future, that doors were opening for me, and that's not really true. I worked at my uncle's fish shack for 7 years straight out of high school. Eventually, I worked up to being head chef, and it's nice to be able to cook, an all-important life skill, but I didn't exactly leave the world a better place when I found it or anything. Don't get me wrong, I was happy, but I was not hero material. Unless you think good old-fashioned Louisiana Cajun cooking can save the world. It can, thank you. But now,
alright.
I might have a chance.
Sure.
Someone dies, meets Root, and is reborn. That doesn't sound right. Well, I will give credit to the author, at least. He is keeping the flow up to a very good standard for humor.
He actually is. We might have found a real author.
Wait,
Possibly.
like, this is like a series of really weird events that we're actually getting to actually good authors now.
Yeah, like...
We've read so much shit. We've just hit that 0.01% chance.
Finding good stuff?
We need to go play the lottery right now, Sneaky. Stop the stream. We're all going
Look,
to buy
I
tickets.
have been, okay? I've lost the last 3 weeks.
If you want some statistical probability, I'd suggest looking up scratch-off lottos and going for the one with the highest chance. $300 gets you an entire unopened pack, which means you're usually guaranteed to at least make your money back.
Yeah, I don't have $300. Donate now.
Yeah, I
Fund
think
my
with that-
gambling.
You did get 100%.
See,
Yeah, and
I
when did
didn't
we-
just wake up in my old world in the body of a baby. No, I woke up in a fictional world in the body of a baby. And holy shit! I wish the Root gave me an option, because I would have chosen virtually any other world than Earthbet. Yeah, I ended up in Wormverse. It's full of reality, full of edgy, traumatized children with superpowers. Yay! Buck. Wild puddle. Year 4. Yep, I'm skipping years 1, 2, and 3 because it turns out being an infant is boring. Being a toddler isn't too much better, but at least I don't have to tell you about being squeezed through someone's vagina. Here's one for the record. A trigger event occurs when someone is desperate, helpless, alone at the end of the rope. I
That's
just
a proper
died.
colon.
Yes. I just died. I found out I was one insignificant soul in an infinite number of multiverses, left alone for 9 months in total isolation, and then squeezed out like toothpaste. And that, my friends, is a recipe for the weirdest fucking trigger event you will ever hear about. Ever since I was born, I could feel a niggling sensation in the back of my head, as though something was trying to grow or take root. At first, I didn't know it was my power trying to cement my connection to the Root. How could I? I had no idea where or when I was. It was only at the age of 4 when both questions were answered for me. Brockton Bay, 1988. Sorry, 1998. Quick, use Flipper
boy.
and dive straight into the shittiest shit and suffer once more. No, I deny you. After a
Remember,
desperate
folks,
bout
if you
of...
truly despise a story with every part of your being, you can donate $5 to skip it.
After a desperate bout of hyperventilation and terrified screaming, I tried to get my mind in order. I was born in 1994, a year older than Taylor. My name is Robin Cardinal, son of Jason and Emily Cardinal, because my dad likes bird watching, apparently. I mean, it's not the worst name out there, so I'll deal. I think Velocity's name is also Robin, too, so that's gonna be all kinds of awkward later on. That night, I finally made the connection. Brockton Bay, Earthbet, Worm, Wildbow. Wildbow, crazy superpowers plus reincarnation plus solve the Root. I triggered already. So, with nothing to guide me, I decided to let myself go, to let the nagging, itching feeling in my mind finally take hold. As I sank into sleep, I felt my mind open like never before. Mind break. You know that vision of the 2 giant space whales I'm supposed to have? Yeah, you'll notice how I didn't mention it. Nope, didn't see them, neither when I slept nor when I first triggered, which tells me that the Root did something, but fuck if I know what. No, when I was finally allowed my power to branch out and set itself in my mind, I dreamed. I dreamed of a temple with elegant white walls of polished marble and high-arching ceilings. I dreamed of a massive round table with 10 thrones. 9 were marked: a set of scales, shield, sword, bow, spear, horse, staff, skull, and profile of a dragon head. Those images, crests, looked worryingly familiar, and a shiver of excitement and dread washed down my spine. But before all but one throne, I saw 9 censers of silver, empty of scented fire. Behind each of these 9 thrones, I could see 9 doors, each imprinted with the corresponding crest. The last throne was unmarked, and somehow I knew it was mine. Instead of a censer, I saw an ancient leather-bound journal. Finally, I thought. 4 years late, but at least I'm getting explanation now. Most capes knew how to use their powers instinctively. I did not. But it looked as though the root would lend me a helping hand. I picked it up and read the first page. No, the root did not leave me a letter. Zelvich did, however. Dear...
So far, nothing offensive.
Yeah, honestly, so far, actually humor.
I was gonna say, I'm actually enjoying this.
Dear Brat, thank you for dying in an amusing way. I mean, if I were to die in a bayou, I'd be at least sure to go out trying to wrestle a gate or something, but you went for the kick the bucket trying to make it out with a boat. Who am I to tell you otherwise?
Okay.
You'll notice that you've been reborn. Be grateful. If I hadn't interfered, you would have been absorbed back into the root like every other soul. Now you get to keep amusing me and making me great Cajun food. Isn't that fantastic? I rolled my eyes. Somehow, this sounded like the kind of shit he pulled. May just be my luck, too. The one skill I'm proud of has nothing to do with magecraft, but still manages to get his attention because old vampire likes Cajun. Seriously, what the hell? I ranted and raved for a minute, but decided that no matter how condescending he sounded, he did do me a solid. I just wish my new life wasn't in Brockton Bay. With that, I kept reading. I know you're probably thinking, why Brockton? Sorry, but there really isn't a reason for it. You don't have some glorious mission or purpose, at least not one I'm giving you. Just, live and amuse me all. I adjusted your soul. Left this note and tossed it into the kaleidoscope. Brockton just happened to be where you landed. As for what I did to your soul, normally the third really isn't my gig, but I did help make the grail, so I'm sure you have an idea. The details are too complicated for you to understand, so I'll just give you the really, really abbreviated version. 1, I implanted magic circuits into your new body. I also used the Corona Polentenia. Yeah.
Corporeal?
Polentia?
Corona Polentia?
Polentia? That this world has to
think
connect this body to your soul instead of that space whale. Be glad your nerves haven't developed yet, because that's not fun for anyone. Too much screaming and agony for my taste. 2, I took your soul and connected it to the Throne of Heroes. You'll be able to call on the 7 classes, Shielder, and Ruler. It actually went better than I expected it to, probably because your origin is communion. Your element is plain old ether, by the way. No, not true ether, just ether. Dull, but at least you got an interesting origin. You might be able to work out a few illusions or something, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. 3, I got sick of watching people use the same heroic spirits, so I decided to connect your soul elsewhere. Don't worry, it's still Throne of Heroes, just not the throne you're familiar with. You have access to 9 heroic spirits from the last franchise you played in your old life. I think they're called Champions instead. I paled. The last franchise I played, League of Legends, I think I was an assassin main, you scum. I hoped to the root that I wouldn't get that psychopathic Evelyn or something. She may be my main, but holy shit, I have no desire to have a sadistic bitch who literally wore someone's skin inside my mind. 4, every one of these champions did agree to be connected to you, so they know you're coming. Who knows? Maybe they'll even teach you a bit of their magecraft. Now, go forth and amuse, because I'm bored. Zelbridge. Yes, I'll come visit us sometime. Make sure your cooking skills haven't dulled. I stared at the journal in a deadpan. Of course I wouldn't somehow get his attention, no matter what he said about my cooking. As flattering as that was, I had a feeling I was part of some experiment of his, probably to see if it's possible to have a connection to the throne without a kaleido stick or the class cards. He likely picked my soul up for the origin more than anything. After a good 10 minutes of processing, I threw my hands up in the air in the universal sign for fuck it, and allowed myself to exit my mindscape. Nope, not dealing with this right now. Lambert. The next morning, I walked down the stairs to greet my parents. Jason Cardinal was about as dull as a man could get. I don't mean to imply he's stupid, because he's not. He worked for Med Hall as the assistant director of the accounting staff, the legal part of Med Hall. He was, unfortunately, every stereotype of an accountant crammed into one: geeky, short, skinny, glasses, and more interested in numbers than my mother. I really hoped I grew up to be taller than him, and his credit. He worked hard to provide for us, but wasn't exactly the model father figure. Too busy with work. My mother, Emily, used to be a legal assistant for some law firm or another, but eventually retired to raise me. Now I had some form of agency. She was looking to refresh her paralegal license while leaving me at daycare. She was even shorter than my dad, fairly pretty, and fancies herself a poet. She was no Robert Frost, and let's leave it at that. Hey, Dad, Mom, I mumbled behind a yawn. There was something else my parents got used to very quickly. I tried so very hard at first to seem like an ordinary toddler, but in the end it was too hard. I have no idea what a toddler behaved like, nor did I have any patience to sit around and shit myself for years, so that just wasn't going to happen. Instead, my parents got to brag to all of our neighbors about their genius son. I could probably train myself fast enough, let me tell you. My mom moved over to hug me. Oh, hello, sweetie, she crooned. I tried to squirm away, but alas, a 4-year-old body just wasn't conductive to daring escapades. I will actually penalize the author here for just one little thing. The reason why babies shit themselves for so long is not because they don't know how not to shit themselves, it's because their muscles have not become strong enough yet to not shit themselves.
Yeah.
But, like I said, just
Thank you for that wonderful bit
minor
of
penalization there. My mom moved over to hug me. Oh, hello, sweetie, she crooned. I tried to squirm away, but alas, a 4-year-old body just... with only minimal struggle, I climbed onto the dining room chair where 2 hard-boiled eggs, a waffle, and fruit awaited me. Personally, I killed for bacon, but my mom was a bit of a hippie, so man. What's wrong with eggs?
She let you have, like, eggs at that point, mate.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between, like, eggs and bacon, in that eggs aren't always fertilized, so you can eat those just fine. But bacon, you actually have to kill something for.
Yeah, except,
Hippie, not
cousin's
vegan.
got...
Hippie.
My cousin got to...
Hippie, not vegan.
Hippies.
Difference.
Vegan.
There's a difference between the
I was
two.
going to say, I currently have a vegan in my household. I can confirm there is a difference.
Yeah. What's wrong
Yep.
with eggs? A youthful voice rang in my mind. I froze. It took my brain a few seconds to catch up. Thankfully, my dad was reading the paper and my mom was tending the stove, so they didn't really notice. Hello, champion. I thought back, for it could be nothing else. Rude. I am a she, not a thing. Came the voice again. Sure enough, it sounded feminine and a bit teasing. Sorry, hearing someone else in my mind is a bit disorienting. May I ask your name? Nope, it's a game. I sighed. So that's how it was going to be. In a way, that alone narrowed it down to some of the possibilities. Very well. May I ask your class? She hummed, and I got the distinct impression she had a finger on her chin. Sure. I'm Caster. Want to play a game? I didn't know how to feel about that. On one hand, there were only so many female whimsical champions who could qualify as casters, so I could probably take a guess. On the other hand, caster was the most unpredictable of classes, the most diverse in their skill sets. You didn't want a prankster class caster, not unless you wanted the entire world to wake up as the opposite gender.
By Dota logic, technically every single hero would qualify as caster because they have magic bullshit.
Axe wouldn't.
Not quite. Casters don't quite follow that. Hell, the classes don't even follow those hard rules. Fuck's sake, we have an archer who specializes more in melee than ranged.
But you see, he throws swords.
No.
So he's an archer.
Shoots. No, he doesn't throw swords, he shoots swords. Now, if we get an archer who can only throw knives and swords, then I'll start being actually angry.
You can't just throw swords and call yourself an archer. Watch me.
Juggernaut?
That was still one of the best things too. When you learn that Archer Mia, like, oh, these aren't actually arrows. What? Yeah, no, I'm just tracing swords and then using my projection to slightly change them. so they look like arrows.
So dumb.
So I'm shooting minor noble phantasms in the form of drills.
The drill will pierce the
Motherfucker.
heavens.
Ugh.
Anyway. So, with trepidation felt by an explorer diving into an unknown cave for the first time, I decided to play along. Sure, Caster, let's play. I get to ask you 3 questions, and if I can guess your name after, you have to be my friend and lend me your power, I ventured. Okay, I can always use new friends. If you can't guess, you're gonna have to give me your body to play with. Now, question 1. The egg I was eating fell out of my mouth and I scrambled to catch it. Get it? Scrambled? I could tell that Caster knew what I was trying because I got the distinct sense of amusement, not dissimilar to the amusement Zelrich expressed towards pretty much everyone. How about you get my body to play with only some of the time if I lose? Fine, ask away. I got the distinct impression she was pouting. My mom sat down at the table and began to eat. She said something about leaving me in daycare, so I nodded along. Will there be more stories? I asked. The best way to acquire knowledge without rousing suspicion from my parents was to immediately pass myself off as a smart kid with an overactive imagination. So that's what I did. As far as Jason and Emily were concerned, I loved to read and be read too. I did my best to maintain conversation with my parents while thinking of a question. First question then. Have you ever been to another world? I posed. If she said yes, I'd know she's Zoe. I'd be so overpowered. Visions of me dropping literal stars on top of Leviathan made me drool. Zion would get wrecked so hard. Not quite. Yeah, you don't want to drop an actual star on Leviathan. Because, you know, hydrogen and oxygen are in a star. And he controls that.
Wait, he controls those independently?
Yeah, so...
I'm sorry, independently?
Is this another Word of God thing?
Yeah, so basically someone asked Wildbow at one point what would happen if the Justice League fought the Endbringers, and his conclusion was the Justice League would win. Because magic. And the Endbringers and the Shards in general don't know how to handle magic.
I mean, the Justice League actually doesn't have a lot of magic at its disposal.
No.
It has a lot of people who know magic that are there.
They know some people
Yes.
that use magic. Oh,
Like,
God.
not even Zatanna. Zatanna isn't even on the metaphor.
How fast would things have been solved if Doctor Strange made a fucking house called Brockton Bay?
Yes.
Oh, they would have been solved in seconds.
But anyway, point being is that
actually,
at one point...
since Strange is a being of order, he might not have been as much as you think.
At one point, though,
He still uses magic.
someone pointed out that Superman could just throw them all into the sun. And he's like, okay, well, A, throwing Behemoth into the sun.
Yeah, that's the first problem.
B, throwing Leviathan into the sun, who can generate water and control hydrogen and oxygen to make more water in a sun. C, smirk.
The idea of throwing... We're gonna send this man who's weak to magic, and I think, depending on the incarnation, some forms of telepathy, and has had a history of falling under mind control.
Well, no, it's not that he has a history of falling under mind control. Like, he has been mind controlled in the past. It's not that he's weak to it. It's just he has no particular resistance to it.
Yep.
Thus, he's weak to it.
Yes.
No,
Having no
Matt.
resistance, having no particular resistance, I think would make someone weak to something.
Well, no, it's like Pokemon. Like, electric types aren't resistant to fire.
But Atin, just because we have no particular resistance to being shot doesn't mean we aren't weak to being shot.
Like, elemental weaknesses in a video game do not equate to real life.
Yep.
Just Just
Oh,
pointing
it's
out.
okay,
yes,
guys. Don't
mind
worry. I
control
don't
is your
have a
life
weakness to being shot.
Mind control is theoretically possible,
But
Atin.
the sun.
And a fire rat isn't.
A fire rat theoretically would be possible if evolution had taken a few too many turns off the deep end.
Okay, look, the sun is actually a very good worm fanfic, okay? So is the moon. They're both really funny as hell worm fanfics.
Oh god, of course they are. But
It's where Taylor
I-
becomes the moon and Taylor becomes the sun, respectively.
Like literally just, I give everybody skin cancer.
No, like, hello, I am the sun.
Of man.
could you please stop fucking shit up down there?
I wonder what. There was actually even a moment in the sun where Taylor's just like, I wonder what happens if I try channeling even like 0.001% of actually being the sun while I was a human on Earth. Accidentally creates miniature black hole on Earth. Okay, maybe I should
Wait,
stop.
Wasn't there already a character in Worm that could create miniature suns?
Yeah, Sundancer.
Yes.
Except
Yeah.
Taylor is the
Is
sun.
the sun.
Oh.
Taylor's just connected to the sun, apparently, and has a human body. Human body just kind of happened to stick around.
Oh,
It-
no,
the way
the
that
human
he's-
body was reduced to ash. She kind of just was like, I'm gonna take some plasma, slap a fuck you shell over it, boom, I have a human.
Oh, there we go. But did her trigger event just burn down Brockton Bay, though?
No, her trigger event didn't happen because she was an avatar and not a parahuman.
Alright.
Oh.
Nah.
As far as I'm
What
aware.
actually-
It's been a
what
while
actually-
since I've read The Sun.
So then what actually caused her to trigger to become the sun?
She didn't trigger.
Oh, she just is the sun.
Yeah, she's just like, boom. I feel weird now. And the sun's like, hello, Taylor. She's just like, the sun's talking to me. I'm staring at the sun. Hi?
Oh,
Hello, Taylor. You are my avatar now.
Hey.
What?
Did Taylor just wake up? It's like, so you're me, I'm you, but hi. How's
You
it
are
going?
me. You have gained the power of the Sun Arcana.
Yeah, but no, that was a reveal in the sun where she was like, "Oh wow, I'm still human, but somehow connected to," and the sun's like, "Yeah, about being still human." No,
Nah.
you're no.
Was there just a moment of like, yeah, what about it?
You're not.
I'm
human
sorry. What are you
anymore.
sorry
You're-
for? I'm sorry. Why do you keep apologizing? I'm
You're
sorry.
actually made of stardust now.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, and then because and then basically because for the premise of the Avatar fix, which is the sun, the moon, her power set is whatever god belonging to that sect has. So
Uh-huh.
when she was in the moon, her power set was Artemis for one time, because Artemis is associated with the moon.
Yeah.
And the more people that believe in it or know about it, the stronger it is. But the thing with the sun is, it's because it's such an important thing and pretty much a cornerstone of nearly every non-modern civilization and worshipped as such. She's like accidentally vaporizes the moon levels of powerful.
That's horrifying.
So,
But anyway.
I may have murdered the moon.
Enough about how awesome that story was and how sad I am it hasn't updated in a while. Back to
Let's go
this
back-
actually funny story.
Yes, this actually amusing story.
But anyway. Yup! She chirped. This one. And then those visions popped in ignoble death. Ah, alas, megalomania. It was nice to make your acquaintance. Holy shit, my toddler brain must be affecting me more than I thought. I felt so stupid. My mom must have seen something on my face because she wiped some syrup from my chin. Ignoring the indignity, I pressed on. That was a waste of a question. Of course she's been to another world. She was here now. Shit. That was a waste. Second question, did you in your life have a magical familiar or companion that accompanied you constantly? Zoe was a loner, an immortal who wandered dimensions to herald times of great change. Sure, she would fit. Brockton would be changing quite a bit in the near future, but I wasn't sure she'd be here with me if she were on her mission. Yep, I have a friend. He's really cute. Last question. She seemed really excited. Maybe the thought of experiencing the world through my body made her happy. A companion that made her either Annie or Lulu, eliminating
Oh,
Mammy.
it's Lulu. It can't be Annie.
Yeah, it probably would be Lulu. The rest would be easy, I hoped. Do you have a thinking cap and enjoy the taste of purple? Silence. Oh, poop. You know my name now, don't you? Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you, Lulu, the Fey Sorceress. I would be delighted to be your friend. Meanwhile, I absent-mindedly ran through the rest of my daily routine. Today would be the first day of daycare. If my parents expected me to cry and hug my mom's leg, they didn't voice their thoughts. After my dad left for work, my mom got ready for class at the community college and ushered me into her car. She'd be dropping me off. I decided to keep up my conversation with my new caster. Lulu, is there anyone else in there? Silly, there are 9 of us in here, she giggled. It was a nice giggle, somehow melodic and childish at the same time. I know, I mean, is there anyone else who is watching us now? Everyone is watching now. Just as you know each of us, we can see your own past too. I wasn't sure how I felt about that. Even if the champions never came out of their chambers, wherever those led, I'd be an open book to them. Well, Lulu, I don't mind giving you some limiting control over my body, but you'd have to promise not to use magic. I can't, you weirdo. We have to include or install for you to do that. I thought about that. It made sense. Would you like to play with the children, then? Ooh, can I? Something just feels off about that statement.
Yes.
Would you like to
That
play with the
statement
children?
decided
Oh
to-
boy, I can use your body to play with the children.
That sounds like a problem with you.
So that's how my day went, with Lulu in the driver's seat. Her fake charisma somehow convincing every child at the daycare to start a conga line that wrapped around one of the buildings. She also started a zoo full of shadow puppets, convinced to the kids that strawberries are made of crayons, covered the toilet bowl in a layer of plastic wrap, and somehow still managed to pass the blame onto one of the new volunteers at the daycare. By the end of it, I was the energetic, angelic kid who could do nothing wrong. The children were dead asleep, and our teachers looked like they loved nothing more to join us. I'd never been more grateful for nap time. Robin! A tiny purple missile of fluff ran into my stomach, driving the air from my lungs. Sure enough, I was in my adult state. My mind was, after all, that of an adult. That was so much fun. Can we do it again? Her excited question came out as a barely coherent babble. It was one thing to read that yordles are short, but an entirely separate matter to hold one in your arms. Lulu was in what I would call her classic skin. Red pointy hat, robes, oversized staff. She was a boundless bundle of energy, a supernova crammed inside a tiny body of about 3 feet tall. I couldn't help myself. I stole her hat and placed it on my own head. Then I palmed her scalp, gently rubbing between her furry ears. Her nose scrunched up adorably, the definition of weaponized hue. She seemed lost between taking offense and enjoying the sensation, but eventually settled in favor of pleasure. She hopped into my arms and I held her like a massive kitten. Hello to you too, Lulu, I chuckled, and yes, if you'd like, we can go play with the children. But I stared searchingly into my eyes. It was so easy to forget that Lulu is ancient. She dwelled in the glade where time takes a hike and logic hangs itself with its own non-existent mustache. Despite her apparent immaturity, Lulu was far from stupid. She loved games, pranks, and magic, but wasn't anyone's fool either. But you can't cause trouble for other people, I said sternly. Pranks are like covering the toilet seat. A volunteer got in a ton of trouble for that. She hung her head. By all appearances, she looked suitably chastised, but I knew better. Lulu. I'll limit to only a few pranks. I doubt I'd get a real promise from her, so I sighed and nodded. Fine, harmless pranks are okay, but you can't do things like that, okay? A nod. You also have to teach me how to use some of that magic of my own. I'd also like to train using an include first and then move on to install. She squirmed in my arms and wrapped herself around my neck, climbing until she sat on my shoulders. She clutched my hair and then thumped my head like a drum. Now, stop that. The point of her hat extended downward to wrap around my right bicep. Before I could react, she swung around into the floor, snatching her staff from the ground on the way. Standing before me, her presence sure as hell made her feet taller than 3 feet. You are being silly. What? I mean, you know this world's going to shit, Lulu. I need to train as soon as possible. Maybe, she admitted, but your mistake was asking me for training. Fairies don't train. You goof? Fairies are magic. It dawned on me. Are you saying it's not possible for me to use any of your magic? Yep, you can't use fairy magic unless you include me because you're not a fairy. Even Yordles can't use it unless they lived in the glade, you know. I sagged, disappointed. It'd have been hilarious to turn Leviathan into a squirrel or something. That still wasn't off the table entirely, but I'd still be plain old squishy Robin without her. I was hoping I could learn to defend myself without relying on you guys. She cooed. Oh, don't be sad, Robin. I'm not the only champion here after all. Have you met Pix? No, I hadn't even noticed the purple fairy. Some sort of presence concealment, maybe? Pix was simultaneously beautiful and imposing, enchanting and dangerous. As all members of the Fae, he was a mystery to my feeble human mind. I did the only thing I could. Hello, Pix. It's a pleasure to meet you, I said with a slight bow. He flew forward and tapped my nose. He says he's happy to make a new friend, too, Lulu translated. We can't teach you to use Fae magic, but we can work on our includes. We should do that at night. I nodded. That's fair. Then I woke up to one of my new friends shaking me. Victoria Dowling's blue eyes greeted me. Alright, so, positives, negatives of this story. No, there goes my headset.
Good job. He'll be back eventually.
Okay,
He'll
there
finish
we
it
go.
up. Hey, there he goes. He got it. Good job.
Positives, it's, actually, if you read it fast enough, it's actually got some humor to it. If you don't read it fast enough, as the pacing does dictate, then it's got a bit chunky paragraphs, so, you know, that's a hit or miss depending on how fast the person reads it. Positive, for people who aren't aware of League of Legends, we got a full-on description of the fatified version, I guess you could say, of the league champion that is met in this chapter. Character interaction is not enough to give any final true comment on it, but from what I've seen so far, the internal monologue was, and the setup and everything else was way better than the characters actually interacting with each other. The daycare was a dream. No, the daycare wasn't a dream. The daycare happened. Grammar was perfectly fine. Do I recommend reading this story? If you liked the premise of it. Otherwise, no, there's really nothing keeping you here beyond the premise. Anything you guys want to add?
Not really. I mean, it's pretty true no matter what. Like, with most stories, it's gonna be dependent on the person reading as well.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's some stories out there that I've read that I was like, I really am not too into the plot, but it's written really well. So I'll read it, you know.
Yeah. I think we've probably all been there at one
Oh, here we
point or
go.
another.
Here's one to make Atin actually say words.
Uh-oh.
Is he even here?
He might be.
No, he fucking left, that little son of a bitch.
That or his mic finally gave up.
Alright then, so instead we'll do... A Ruby Undertale cross. How about that?
That sounds horrendous and painful
Uh,
at the same damn time.
Alright, so then we're doing it. Copy and paste. This is Ruby Undertale, as I said. Their profile pic, or at least their story pic, is a small pig with bone parts.
that's their profile pic.
Okay. A simple soul's determination. As Beacon Academy falls, a new evil arises. Now awoken to her special powers, Ruby, Juniper, Sands, and Frisk travel across Remnant to bring their friends back together. Meanwhile, Chara and Yang fight their own battles back on the home front as Ironwood arrives in Patch. A rose is a sturdy, resilient flower, one that does not so easily wilt. But what can be said of the others? Other flowers, other people.
Others. But does it have D-Train as a main character?
No, it does not have D-Train Dark as a character. I'm trying to figure out if this is like a sequel to something. Have they written other stories before this?
Check it out.
No. No.
Skullgirl. And The Last of Us in Ruby.
Neo times Ruby Skullgirls cross.
Ruby and I could see that working actually.
Anyway, so yeah, so I know the summary sounds like it's a sequel to something, but it's not. It's not a sequel. Do we have any Sergeant Frog fanfics? I mean, probably. I haven't watched a single episode of Sergeant Frog in over 12 years, so...
About the only thing I know about Sergeant Frog is apparently the little guy really loves Gunpla.
I watched a couple episodes, wasn't overly interested in it, and then DeviantArt informed me that people really like the fetish part of Sergeant Frog, which is apparently the bodies that they use or something like that. I don't fucking know.
The less you think on it, the better
honestly,
you are.
there's a reason why I basically blotted it out of my mind. The way you say times instead of X is amusing at best, off-putting at worst. The way you say times instead of X.
X, yeah. Like, you'd say Hunter times Hunter if it was a thing. Also,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's the American education system in action, folks.
Look, I've always just called it times.
I know you have, but that partially comes from going through elementary school.
No, follow my logic here. When two
I'm
people are
explaining
multiplied by each other, they make children.
Sneaky, that was literally what I was going to explain, except you somehow made it worse.
So, I'm good at that.
I was following
That's
your
not
logic.
how
No
reproduction
problem.
works. No, I'm pretty sure that's exactly how reproduction works. I'm rewatching it and it's interesting. Like I said, I remember like a vague few scenes. It was weird, and then DeviantArt was like, "Hey, fetish," and I was like, "Oh, guess I'm never touching this again."
DeviantArt always does that.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Anyway, so let's get into this. Oh, by the way, this story is also listed as humor. So.
Oh no. Let me guess. We're gonna go from decent humor to.
We're gonna go from 70 to 0 real fucking quick.
Oh boy.
Frisk woke with a start yet again. she had been having reoccurring dreams of her brother committing genocide against all of monster kind, and her small amount of determination could do nothing against his rampage of insanity. She then remembered who she was thinking about. Chara, she called out, whispering at first. She looked around as she called out for her brother. Chara! Sean! Sean!
I mean, if you really want to go for the reference, you start yelling Jason really awkwardly.
Like Jason?
No, Jason!
Jason!
Jason! I love how that game became a fucking meme after the Super Best Friends just pushed it.
Well, yeah, they also broke it, so... Like, that was an actual bug in the game before they did it, but then they did it, and everyone was like, oh wow, this is a bug, this is hilarious.
Because it is hilarious.
But no, I still love the recording of the original recording of the bug in action of him just permanently having Sean as an option to just shout at random times for the rest of the game, and it's like in the middle of a dialogue scene, the guy is just like, but Laura, you know, Sean!
I didn't know about that bug.
Yeah,
they were just referring to the line reads.
No. So basically, what happened is there's this bug that enabled you to carry the option. It was like when you're searching for Sean in one scene, and if you did it in a specific way, that prompt never goes away.
Oh yeah.
And you could do it in the middle of cutscenes and shit too. So like I said, it would just be straight up a cutscene, and it's just like blah blah blah. Sean! Sean!
When the guy isn't even in the scene, when like the chick's running and like the big bad detective is falling,
Sean!
You can still hear him in the fucking distance going, Sean!
Sean!
I have a video of that somewhere.
Oh god, it's great. Oh god, that game was so much meme.
Yeah.
But yes.
I'm always sad when I look at David Cage games. I was just like, there's so much potential here. And then someone lets him do it all on his own.
So much wasted potential.
Well, because it's like Heavy Rain as a narrative is actually super interesting. But then when I found out he said, don't play the game more than once because you break the illusion. It's like, oh, he's super aware. Why?
Anyway, yeah, as Faceless did say, Chara is the brother. Abort. Yeah, the Undertale fandom is a disturbing place to say the least. It's like when you have a smart kid raised by a dumb parent.
That's an apt way of
You're
describing David Cage games.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
She heard a grumbling noise to her left. Sean!
It's not what she called out.
She noticed she had been lying in a rather fluffy and comfortable bed. She looked to her left and saw the familiar, disgruntled face of her brother.
It still works on the PS4 remaster.
Oh god. He seemed older, taller, more hairy. He had a strange scruff around his chin and little hints of hair on his jawline. His hair on his head had grown into a very much more defined bowl shape.
Hey guys, I just got a Call of Duty Black Ops 4 drop.
Hey guys, Vsauce, Michael here.
Hey Vsauce, guys here, Michael.
Alright, I'm waiting.
Kilm, I feel like that's supposed to go in dumpster.
I swear, officer, I am drugs.
No, but it's been mentioned during the fucking stream, so it's gotta be there.
That's sneaky. Will you allow that ruling?
I'll allow that ruling. That is what we were talking about.
I can't wait for people to look at that chat and be like, what the fuck
Honestly,
is the context
that is the meme of that chat, is basically posting the most out of context stuff there possible that was only in context if you were watching live. And so everyone else that comes there later is just like, what the fuck did I miss?
Mostly this goes for Isley, who has been neglecting his/her.
Why are
duties
they at
as,
the prime age to be timing,
right.
using Sneaky's definition of reproduction? Well, you see, it's because the author's not a pedophile. Unlike Gledwin. Is the stream breaking up for anyone else, or is that just me? It's probably just you, as everything is reporting A-OK on my end. But anyway, so yes, they're apparently suddenly grown up, and she's looking around. I'm glad this character's looking around so much. How else would we ever have a description of the room she's apparently lived in?
It's
Wait,
a room.
hold on. Is there a double-decker bunk bed?
No, there is not a double-decker queen bunk bed, unfortunately.
Remember, it was the king, not queen.
Oh, what was it? Oh, yeah, it was a king.
Isn't that like? Can you even have like?
Yes, you can. We found out
Oh,
they do in fact
yes,
sell them.
they do in fact sell
Do they
them,
have
and
support
some
for
of them
the
are
pillow?
actually in really cool designs, where it's like also underneath the second underneath the second bed, it's like actually off to the side a bit, so you can like walk upstairs to get to it. But like all the space it creates has like drawers and shit underneath it for clothing.
Yeah. That was one of our really early streams where we went on, what, a 20 or 30-minute tangent discussing what kind of furniture we should get if we move in together.
Also, the fact that their room was larger than like. What did we come out to the dimensions of that room they were describing? It was like
Was it
70 by 70 or something.
Yeah, you're right.
I
70 by 70.
Don't even fucking oh god, back when I still gave enough of a shit to do fucking own stream math.
Like
Oh, no,
the author
we
was
had that
like,
one dude. Wait, didn't we have that one dude who literally fit a village inside a ceiling scroll?
Yes.
Yes.
only
And
this
the village
stream
was the
does the
size of the city.
video freeze, but the audio keeps going. Well, I mean, technically speaking, there isn't much video you gotta be concerned about.
Yeah. Yeah, if this was a gameplay oriented show, then yeah, you should be worried about video freezing.
But yeah.
What's this
no,
about
no,
a village in
cool.
a
Look,
ceiling scroll?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember
mean,
that.
like-
And
I
the
remember
village was a
that.
couple of 1,000 acres, so it's basically a town.
Also, remember the other one
Okay.
where it was like, I have a pool, several acres of land forests, and a mansion in my ceiling scroll, and I can just place that anywhere, and that's my new compound? It's just like,
Yeah, I know, that was the one.
wait,
Okay,
what?
Alright, okay, hang on. I'm willing to let that go by if the reveal is each house is stored in a separate scroll, and I have a scroll holding those scrolls.
It's a scroll
Like-
hold scroll.
Like,
no,
I'm
no,
gonna
Max,
be here
Max,
for the
you
next...
have to go full
Where
meta.
was scrolls
It
for
has to
a
go full
scroll?
meta. It has to be a scroll holding scrolls that hold the buildings, and inside those buildings are more scrolls holding the furniture inside the
Oh, no,
buildings.
that's what I was gonna go. That's what I was gonna go for. It's like, okay, guys, I'm gonna be here for the next week doing what? Unpacking our village. What?
No,
It's
no,
a
no,
lot
no.
of scrolls.
No. It's all one at a time, though. It's like one giant,
Oh, no,
like,
yeah.
boom, and then you just hear like rapid booms after that as each scroll detonates and shoots out its contents.
UNESCO declares Islam as the most peaceful religion of the world.
It is the most peaceful religion of the world, don't you know? To say otherwise would have you executed.
Can we please not get banned from Twitch?
Anyway, so yeah,
Oh,
blah
thank
blah.
God, they nerfed
Wait,
Great Fire
what is
Fire.
this? What is this, author? She then looked down at herself and noticed a strange feeling of heaviness on her chest, and noticed that her chest had matured slightly following her time in the other round. What? Okay, look, I am not female.
For context, Sneaky is adding those words in. For context, in case you're
the
wondering.
author is implying it, so I'm
What
adding
can I
it in.
come back to?
Okay, so this is a Ruby Undertale cross in which the author is writing it like it's a sequel to a previous fic, but it's not.
Was the fic just designed as head or what?
And so for some reason, she's just like, I'm waking up from this dream. Oh, hello, brother that sleeps right next to me. Oh, wow, you look a lot of scruffy suddenly. Oh, and what's this heavy feeling on my chest? I have boobs. I'm not female. But I don't think that's how that works. I don't think you go to sleep one night as an A and wake up and now you're a C. I'm pretty sure that's just hentai only. Does that happen? I'm not female. I'm sorry if my voice duped you.
Well, I mean, Sneaky, based on what you did on a couple of servers...
You know what, man? I actually specifically avoided ever using voice.
That's true.
Can I get some female confirmation here that boobs don't suddenly appear on your chest overnight?
We don't have any fucking females.
Is this going to be a duck,
Isley
duck, go?
isn't here, so...
I mean, Birdie's here.
Don't know.
Is Birdie present in chat?
Birdie might.
She was talking
I don't know what Birdie either.
4 minutes ago, so maybe.
Oh.
But anyway, after reassuring herself, she noticed a third bed in the room. Noticed a third bed.
Hold on a minute.
Oh, I'm waking up in my bedroom. Oh, look, there's my brother. Oh my God, there's a third bed here that I've never witnessed before.
No, hold on a minute. So wait, she's sleeping in a bed, and then in the bed next to her, or in a bed next to her bed is the brother?
Yes.
Sneaky, you did not answer my question.
He did.
Hold on, I'm gonna change the sin count. Once I find it in the drop-down menu. Here we go. Properties, and turn off read from file, and turn on what the fuck. Alright.
Sneaky, you need to move it over. It's on the text.
There we go. And then 0. There we go.
Excellent. Good job.
Sin count.
Our
What the
production
fuck?
quality remains at a standard level.
Oh boy.
This is clearly magical shenanigans. Mama Bird does say that I got on the plane when we were moving boobless and got off the destination with boobs. Sin count. Closet Glenn.
we should just have like a fucking award, Cledwin of the day, because the amount of pedos you come across. In
Oh no, it'd be more like pedo of the month.
Cledwin of the month.
Cledwin of the month. Congratulations, you get the Cledwin of the month award.
Oh
It's
boy.
handed out on a bi-weekly basis.
Anyway, so she noticed a third bed there. After reassuring herself that her loose-fitting negligee was actually going to stay on her, she wandered towards the other bed, and not wanting to wake anyone, of course. She got closer to the bed and noticed a familiar shape was there. It was a human skull!
Cheers. I'll drink to that.
So, I have a question. If Sans gets up to hijinks, is that skullfuckery?
Yes.
Get out.
Technically, yes.
The spooky, scary skeletons theme plays in the background.
Yeah, she looked closer, and sure enough, blue light was emitting from the left socket. The assured Frisk that was indeed her old friend Sans. He was sleeping peacefully. Actually, light emits from both sockets. It's just when he grabs you with his powers that it only emits from one. You know.
I'm pretty sure it's one eye, honestly.
No, when at the start, of the thing.
I'm looking at
It's
the
both
fire.
eyes, and then he like closes one eye to focus it or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Wait, I'm just checking.
Anyway, blah blah blah. Sans was dreaming of grilled bees in his favorite chair. He also had gotten
Nope,
taller.
one eye. Sneaky, one eye.
Oh, okay. Frisk's suggestion to drink milk instead of ketchup had been working well for him. It still goes through him. Like, that's still part of the joke. He doesn't actually order anything, he just drinks ketchup. And it goes through him. Because he's a skeleton.
Yep.
I'm sitting here explaining an Undertale joke to an Undertale fan.
Yep, this is your life now, Sneaky.
This is my life now. It seems you are awake. I am pleased to see that you are finally showing signs of life. It seems that your friends are partaking in beauty rest. Shall I wake them up? A voice behind Frisk said, making her jump and hurriedly scramble back to her bed. A voice chuckled at her childish actions. Relax, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm friendly.
Better not be Osmond talking.
Oh, it's so fucking Ozpin talking. The last time someone said that to me, I was almost dead after trusting them. Remembering your first encounter with Flowery, the demonic flower, still chills you to the bone. Regardless, you are filled with determination. I'm sorry to hear that. Would it be any comfort to you if I revealed myself to you? I suppose. A man in a green tailcoat walked in, and a coffee mug in one hand and a cane in the other. Wait, walked in? Walked in as it... Ozpin, did you have a viewing window installed into this room they were sleeping in? Were you watching them sleep?
I would not be surprised.
I mean, it's Oscar.
Like, he walked into the room after he finished talking and saying, I noticed you're awake now, which means he was seeing them before he was in the room.
Yes. Ozpin gets the Cledwin Award.
Ozpin gets the Cledwin Award, definitely. And what is with the bold determination line? So that's actually an Undertale thing. So basically, whenever you gain determination, quote-unquote, which is basically a save file, or it's just a moment in the game that fills you with determination, it does this bolded text style with an asterisk. It's an Undertale thing.
Congratulations. You've murdered every living bee.
Well, no, it's not that they're trying to smush two incompatible series together and failing. It's that they are trying to include Undertale stylization into a narrative format and not a video game format.
Sneaky. I put up the chapter when this thing began. One follow.
You put it up on Fanfiction? Alright, I'll show you how to put it up on Space Battles after this.
Yeah, after the thing, yeah.
Oh god, you already uploaded it.
Yep.
And you've already got one. Fuck you. Fuck you and your
I uploaded it
success.
at the start- I uploaded it at the start
Fuck
of
you and your success.
Oh, okay, look, he actually has
It's
1,000
wrong.
people that follow him as an author, so they all get alerted whenever he puts new stories up.
Yeah,
I
so
know.
this is the worst.
Sneaky, that doesn't change my statement. I'm aware.
Oh, no, Faceless, you do not want to see my Skyrim save file. I do exactly. It's like, I've walked 10 feet. Save. Alright, time to back up this save and put it into a separate file.
No, but really, I've played saved games with him. He does that.
I do that so much. Hold on, I gotta load back an old file. We gotta reload.
I'm like a single fucking save.
Speaking of Sneaky, when do we restart the Divinity playthrough?
At some point when my schedule isn't, I wake up and then I work.
Lads,
When you're
lads.
not awake. What?
let's do a Borderlands 2 playthrough.
No, I played the shit out of Borderlands 2 on board.
That's why I'm saying we should all do it together. Co-op.
Maybe.
I mean, I've maxed out every
But again,
character.
it comes back to the same problem of when he's working, I'm not. And then when he comes home, we got like 1 to 2 hours before I have to go to bed to go to work the next day.
Oof.
So, like, the two of us have a lot more time now, but Max and Atin, not so much with me.
I mean, I'm now a free man for like 3 months, so.
The whole stylization is fine, but it just fails to see the series working at all. Yeah, Undertale Ruby doesn't work too well. It works somewhat. It has some compatibilities in the whole soul thing.
I have read one good one.
Yeah, like, it has some compatibilities, like the whole soul thing. Like, there is some overlap there, and it's like, oh, your soul takes damage instead of you taking damage, sort of thing. That sort of works. The whole there's no real magic thing, and there's a difference between humans and monsters, and humans, grand, so it's just like, there's enough there that if you really put some effort into it, you could write a decent story from it. But the main problem with it all is that it's two bad fandoms.
Well, yes, can't deny that.
Like,
I hate Undertale because of the fandom, and that is very, very rare for me.
I was an awkward teen, so I'm an awkward adult. I wanted to write a fanfic where John died and became Flowey, and that was the only aspect of Undertale in the crossover. Not sure where I thought that would go. Yeah, that is... Yeah. Remembering your unknown reasons for being here, you began to worry where Sans brother Papyrus is. You've temporarily lost your ability to save. Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, the style. I'm not too keen on the stylization. I mean, it is sort of from her point of view, but
It's actually in all caps all the time.
well, I mean, it's in bold, but that is the style in which the game does it, and I'm kind of 50-50 on it because it's sort of interrupting the flow of the story. And it's just like, this could have been a thought, this could have been like, if they're gonna go like, oh, this is your semblance, it'd be a grin and bear it sort of moment. But it's like, at the moment, all I know is that it's an authorial choice of stylization, and I'm not too hot on it. Anyway, so blah blah blah. He was moved into his own separate room so he doesn't disturb everyone else. Blah blah blah. Your termination refills and you have regained your ability to save. You may not want to lie to Ozpin soon because he seems to be able to read expressions well. Yeah, I'm really 50-50 on this now. It's starting to get into the meta fourth walling. Would you care to tell me if you agree? But of course, the Ozpin gives off a calming fatherly aura. Your mercy actions have increased the percentage of working on enemies in this area. Also, I would like to point out that Asriel Dreamer anagrams into serial murderer. So, yeah. Undertale isn't good crossover material. Yeah, pretty much.
Dreamer's murderers.
Say, we have had that angry conversation many times, not specifically about Undertale, but about when you're writing a crossover.
Yeah. Blah 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 blah. Recapping Undertale. That's a lot to take in, yeah, especially because you made it as a giant fucking text block instead of actual character interaction and questioning. Blah 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 blah. I'm worried about goats. Blah blah blah. Mr. Dreamer, it's been 9 years since you arrived here. I tell you of your current situation, but I'm afraid you already know what you want to do. I need to find those goat people. You look around to find that no one is rousing to come and help you. You feel somewhat embarrassed and your dodging speed goes down by 1 level. Yeah, it doesn't make the point of view very awkward. Sure, it meshes fine with some of the more surreal titles like Mother and Earthbound. You mean the titles that Toby Fox worked on? Or were made mods for? You mean like the titles that Toby Fox took heavy inspiration from? And otherwise, I can't see it working very well. Yeah, no, more or less that. Yeah. All right. So because Atin's back now, let's get into some sci-fi.
God, why do you do this?
I'm feeling the
He
Spartans,
likes-
the Spartans of Mandalore. How do you feel about that?
Oh,
You have
Oh.
selected this
oh no.
explicitly to anger me, haven't you? You saw this and made a conscious
You know what?
choice of
You
this
know
will
the
piss me
worst,
off.
and the worst part about this is I could totally see like Kalski Rada calling someone up like, "Yo, I got some kids for you to adopt. Could you take over?" This could work so well. How does this author
No, I
fuck
was
it
gonna
up?
say this could be beautiful, wonderful material, and this person will fuck it all to hell.
Yeah, that's the only reason Sneaky would be picking it, because it's trash. It's the only reason.
Oh great!
What?
Someone's
have a
made a
name,
Twitter
and I will beg
page
you to
for
use
Hurricane Florence.
What's this about Florence?
Someone made a Twitter page for Hurricane Florence, which, by the way,
Yes.
is absolutely wrecking North Carolina right now.
Well,
Yeah,
none of us are in North Carolina.
I mean, I'll say this much: like, they have to deal with pretty much the same amount of flooding, but at least the wind damage is significantly lower than it would have been. That's not saying much, but it's something.
Holy shit, Grimstroke got a major nerf. But anyway. Oh boy, it's a Django Fett point of
Look,
view,
man,
too.
all I'm happy to care about is that they finally fucking nerfed Breathe Fire Blast.
Oh, did they? Nice. Anyway.
And Sneaky, it was a hard nerf too. They nerfed the DPS and the stun time.
Good. But yeah, so let's get on with this. They called us the best. Didn't feel it sometimes, but this was a chance to make the best, to have a true, lasting legacy that will be heard across the whole galaxy.
I know what they're doing, and I am angry.
This was my chance to change it all, and to truly make the greatest soldiers the galaxy had ever seen. Better than all the rest. Maybe then this new title of mine won't weigh me down so much. Sci-fi. Master Chief Cortana. Oh no.
I don't know.
There are 59 chapters.
I don't
Oh
feel so.
no. I don't feel so good, Max.
Oh, there you go. That's 2 followers and 1 favorite now.
Why?
No, I was doing a meme.
I know, but why? Why are you doing the meme?
Because this story is making me uneasy. Also, he snapped his fingers.
I don't know.
Welcome back, Not Sneaky. Indeed, welcome back, Not Sneaky. My roommate is in the living room, butchering looks like to be an entire cow. The entire floor is covered in saran wrap, and there's a person-sized slab of meat he is cutting up. I do not know what is going on or how to react to it. Posting in case he turns out to be a serial killer. I'm pretty sure your roommate killed someone. Guest, is this story dead? Don't be dead. This is my favorite story on fanfiction. Don't die, says Guest, who couldn't even bother to make a free account in 2 seconds to favorite the story on an actual account and leave a review on an actual account. Fernix. I was skeptical about this story at first. I glad I was wrong. Perfect blend.
They have 59 chapters and only 300,000 words.
I mean,
Not even 300.
That's why it's
59. That's about. That's a little less than 6K per chapter. give or take. About 5 to 6K per chapter, I think.
That comes out to around 5K per chapter-ish.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Sin count is still what the fuck, I see.
The sin count's permanently what the fuck for tonight.
Yeah, after that story that Sneaky went through and just completely broke him.
Let's see.
Okay.
Blah blah. The Navy still exists in Star Wars, meaning the ranks of Petty Officer, Master Chief, Petty Officer are needlessly redundant. The Navy still exists in Halo! What are you smoking?
I was gonna say, they're they are the Navy. They have the Navy and the Army.
The Narmy.
United Navy Space Company,
No,
whatever the fuck their name
Sneaky,
is.
It's United. Isn't it United Nations?
No, it's not United Nations. At least I don't think it is. But anyway, it's just Narmy. Yes, they are the Narmy.
Yeah. Is United
We
Nations
call them
Space-
Marines.
It is
Yeah, no,
actually
Sneaky. It's the United Nations Space Command.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. They're
I
still
mean,
a
I'd rather
Navy.
go with Narmy.
They use Navy positions.
No, they are the Navy. I'm just saying you have the abbreviation wrong.
Yeah,
That's all.
I know. I'm still just angry at this person. Yeah, there's a Navy in Star Wars. You don't need to use these ranks. They have those ranks because they're in the Navy. They were specifically given Navy ranks so they could not be ordered by ground troops.
Because they were the ground troops were so going to try to order them around.
Well, no, it was like it was so they couldn't. They were given Master Chief was the highest ranking Spartan, but also had to be ranked lower than a certain level, so he could still take orders and he could still give orders, but also wasn't going to be able to be countermanded by the people on the ground or some shit like it was like. But at the same time, could still take orders from that. It was actually well thought out explanation that I'm just absolutely butchering because I haven't read those books since 9th grade.
But yeah, basically the point was we need to keep the Spartans from being able to be ordered around by any random person on the ground, but we can't give them enough authority to order themselves around, or they might start getting ideas.
Yeah, basically. Okay, so oh.
Sneaky, check your private messages.
Yeah, great. So Master Chief's gonna be Mandalore. Yep, that's.
Okay, so before we read this absolute abomination of a story, let's talk about how they should act, how a story like one of the many possible ways you could get a great story out of this crossover. Max, I will need your help.
What? Why do you need my help?
Who's read the Clone Wars books?
I'm sorry.
No, I've not read the Clone Wars books.
Then how do you know Cal?
Those aren't Clone Wars books. Those are Commando books.
Oh, dude, I love the Commando books.
Oh, did you finish all of them too, Sneaky?
Yeah.
Did you read up through Imperial Commando and then throw it against the wall because Disney fucked us out of that? Well, not Disney, but LucasArts fucked us out of it.
I was so fucking angry and sad.
Dude, I was so
that
bad.
we didn't get the rest. Okay?
Because of the Clone Wars.
It was my favorite book series. It was my favorite game. Like,
no, Atin, you used to defend that, and then you found out later what actually happened.
I know why they did it.
Yeah, I was the one that defended it, and I knew why they did it, and it's still just because I'm defending it doesn't mean I like it.
I think it was Max. I'm the one who always said, "Pacifist Mandalorians, get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! Fucking Clone Wars."
Anyway,
it's a shame it's one of the better things that we had to.
Anti-parasite shotgun. I think that's just called a shotgun.
I'm sorry, a what?
Anti-parasite shotgun.
What are you talking about?
Chapter 59 review. Where is my anti-parasite shotgun? And I replied with, I'm pretty sure that's just called a shotgun.
I mean, I assume they're referring to the Flood.
Oh, Nexus! Did you not know about pacifist Mandalorians?
What?
Nexus was confused about pacifist Mandalorians. Yeah!
Yeah, the worst part is like, I'd have been fine if it had been like, oh, this is a small splinter group. But nah. Nah, this is how Mandalore was. This is
Oh
what
yeah,
Mandalorians.
not only do they
Fuck
exist, they rule the Mandalorians.
Oh,
That's
also,
what angered-
Mandalorian
by the way-
nuclear hellscape.
By the way, what angers me the most is we already had the precedent in the expanded universe for that before the Legends horse shit. It was called the Concord Dawn, a splinter group of Mandalorians. Like, listen, we're done fighting. We're gonna go be peaceful over here, but we're not Mandalorians anymore. So don't call us that.
Honestly, the only way, and Atin and I have said this before,
Like-
the only way I can see pacifist Mandalorians working if they're like, we're gonna put away our guns and fight you with diplomacy. That's not even pronounced diplomacy. That's because it's diplomancy. The magic of diplomacy.
That's what the Concord Dawn was. It was
I
basically.
No, I was gonna say,
it
that's
was a-
literally what
yeah.
Concord Dawn was.
It's what a bunch of
That's what we
Mandalorian-
literally said. That is the only pacifist Mandalorians we will accept.
I think the best way I ever saw it described was Concord Dawn is basically the gated community of Mandalorians that don't like admitting they're Mandalorian.
Magic of words, so they would be bards? No. Diplomancers are far
No,
more
and then
useful
here's
than
the
bards.
thing, right? Listen, here's how it was before Legends screwed everything up. After the time of Revan, you have normal Mandalorians who do their best to honor the codes of Mandalore and just work as general mercenaries. Then, after a while, you had the people on Concord Dawn who were like, this really isn't a sustainable future. We should try something different. And they became pacifists. And then as a response to that, you had the fuckheads in the Death Watch who said, nah, we ain't gonna let you be bitches. And they killed all of them.
Yep. I love that, like, no one in Death Watch, like, no one likes Death Watch, not even Death Watch.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's like, there's a handful of people like, oh no, we love each other because we are romantically involved, but otherwise fuck everyone else in our
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah.
Like, it's to the... No, everyone hates Death Watch members so much that in the commando books, we have a doctor. It's like, hey man, come talk with me under this bridge. Yeah, tell me about this Death Watch propaganda. Oh, hey, no one's around. Dead.
Stabs in throat. Pushes
No, it wasn't the
river.
throat. No, it was I think he got him in the thigh and the carotid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hit him in two arteries because fuck
And
this
then
guy.
pushed him into a river.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't help that the guy had a reputation that also earned him the name the Butcher.
No, I'm
But-
just saying, it is far and away my favorite moment when he's just like, yeah, tell me about this Death Watch stuff. Stab.
And just into
Anyway.
the river. No one will ever find the body.
So let's get back into this basically
I was
butchering
saying,
of
so
Star Wars
getting
lore.
back onto the point. Getting
Yeah,
back on
yeah.
track.
Django Pav. He was waiting. 3 drinks in, and he was still waiting.
Okay, Django didn't drink. Like,
The bar was basically barren.
barren.
A waiter picking up glasses
sure Boba
here,
was the one that drank.
bartender cleaning a glass there.
Boba didn't drink
Oh,
much.
No,
There
okay,
was
no, I
nothing
think
to
Django.
do,
I think
and no
Django
one
would
talked
drink,
to him.
but it wouldn't be recreationally. I think it was like a
What
social
he was
thing.
doing, what was he doing here? She contacted him and still made him wait? If it was for a job, he would have told her to shove it. He had, after all, just landed into a very, very lucrative job that would require full commitment with very little room for other jobs. That being said, that didn't mean there was no room. But he digressed. She wanted him and he was here. Well, she was not. Hell, he didn't even want to be here, and he certainly didn't want to talk to her, so that begged the question, what brought him here? Curiosity.
Okay, look, I'm sorry, I gotta say something. This is
How not to portray Django fucking Fett. 101.
It just cut off his head, man.
literally none of this could be further. Like, even if you ignore the existence of books,
Sounds like
just on only what you get from episode 2,
Probably that's all they're working on.
none
Yep.
of this is Django.
Oh, first review.
Would you
Okay then.
fuck off with your success?
What do you mean? Come on, you guys are like much ahead of me with your fake right now.
What do you mean?
They're like almost at 100. No, they're. Oh, you're still not at 90 follows. Okay. Like, I checked it out a few days back. I'm like, oh, they're
Max-
almost at 100.
I'm sorry, who's that almost at what?
He's
Like,
making
I
fun
checked
of
out a
your
few days back,
responding
I'm
isn't
like,
that
they're
awesome.
almost at 100.
I can't hear you when you just yell over each other.
He's
Max,
making fun of
us
you.
again.
I'm
And your
not.
story.
I actually checked their fic a couple days back, and I'm like, oh, they're almost at 100. Nice. And
Wait, we have fans?
they're still at 86.
I mean, you have some fetishists that really like you.
Oh, please don't remind us.
What
Wait,
the
they do? What? Excuse me. No, I need to know this. What happened?
It's an inside joke.
No, it's not. He's referencing a very specific name of a very specific reviewer.
Tell us.
No.
Blah, blah, blah.
Do it.
It's here somewhere. Oh yes, douchebag.
Ah, yes, the douchebag's always there. The guy just went to all of your fics and wrote douchebag. I love it.
You know, fanfiction.net.
Oh, what happened to it?
Oh, where'd
Wait,
it go?
What? Oh no, did they erase it?
I think they erased it.
What
Wait,
was
no,
it?
is it not on page 2?
You only have 2 pages.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
He's on page 2.
Yeah, I'm on page 2 too. There's nothing in.
oh man.
Are we sure it wasn't on one of yours? On one of the
No,
other
no.
stories?
No, this
First,
person
because I
was like
remember,
straight up
because I
just
got
like
a message from
orgasming about how you guys were torturing Ruby.
Oh!
No, because I remember because I woke up to a PM from Sneaky yesterday, one day, and it was like, I'm sorry. It was like the review quote, and it's like it's from blank. What did you put in the chapter?
Oh yeah, no wait, I think it's around here somewhere.
Is it in our PMs? I think it was the PMs.
Oh yes, here we go. Wait, no, that was my review.
Bunch of Gundams.
My review's pretty simple. Despacito.
Oh, I forgot. Ruby patch notes. That's another story we were always planning to write.
Yes.
Hold on. I'm going through the long line.
A bunch of stuff from the D&D campaigns. That's way
Sneaky.
too far back.
Nope, that's too far back. It's
Have
not
you
in the
been
writing
reviewing
section.
stories on the shared account again? Because Anime Borat sent us a private message on September
no.
3rd.
Remember?
You did review the guy who said douchebag.
No,
so-
remember like way back in the day when we did the Monica, Solid Snake 5 fic?
No, I don't think I was there for that
Metal
one.
Gear, sorry, Metal Gear Solid fic. The Monica Metal Gear Solid cross that we were like, holy shit, this is amazing. And that's what we said in our review of like, top shit post, dude, well done.
Yes.
And then the Anime Borat is a fan of that story and was PMing us because he saw we didn't leave any more reviews and was like, hey dude, did you know the story updated?
Oh, I love it when people do that.
In the expanded universe, or I guess it's called Legends now, he gets shit ton of tits and ass. He doesn't need her. I mean, yes, Django was the popular.
And Django also gave no shits.
Yeah, are we in an alternate reality? Did we Matrix this? Because I know it's somewhere.
It existed.
Hang on, I pulled up. I'm just now going through the inbox bit by
Where?
bit, searching for reviews for Respawning. Isn't that awesome?
I love how my
It's gotta
review
be
just-
here somewhere. Like,
I'm
I'm
just
not
now
crazy. I
constantly-
swear.
Did you put up the fight chapter?
Okay, Sneaky. I'm gonna.
We
start
haven't done that
pulling,
one
like,
yet.
the
Yeah,
fight
one's
chapter.
slowly being-
I'll give you a little plug.
That one is slowly being fixed.
I
I
don't get it. What happened to it? I'm not crazy. We all saw it.
No, wait. I'm going through the
Okay,
emails and I'm not finding it.
What happened to it?
Okay, I'm gonna check the pinned messages.
I
don't understand.
no.
What's
No.
going on?
No.
What? It's gone. Was it just a figment of
I
imagination?
don't understand. What happened to
It's
it?
the Berenstein Bears.
This is the Berenstein Bears. What a twist.
Oh no.
Like, I love how we're all sitting here like we all know the exact review I'm talking about, but it just doesn't exist.
Has it just been erased from our
You
server?
was a reviewer the whole time.
It's not on our server. It's not in our emails. It's not in the review section. What happened to it? What else has changed?
Aside from you being a massive drunk.
Oh no, that was gradual.
Oh god, I'm trying to remember. But I think it's just gone.
No, it can't be.
think
I
it
don't
is.
understand.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Are we sure it wasn't for your story?
No, it was
definitely for
specifically
ours.
talking about how happy he was about you guys mind fucking Ruby and that he can't wait for more.
Hey, please don't say it like that. That is not what occurred.
I mean, I'm starting to remember the review itself, because it's like, oh god, we're attracting sadists.
Yes, I remember you saying that exact response to me when I sent you guys the review.
Wait, Max, where did you find it?
No, I didn't find it anywhere. I remember it. Like, I'm slowly remembering the conversation Nick and I had, just like, oh
Birdie,
god, we're attracting horrible people.
What? But we all know it existed.
Okay,
Everyone
I tried getting more results with what the fuck is wrong, and I have what the fuck is wrong with Vermont, what the fuck is wrong with him, what the fuck is wrong with everyone here, and what the fuck is wrong with you, what the fuck is wrong with people, what the fuck is wrong with people in all caps, what the fuck is wrong with these people.
We've had many complaints.
Oh god.
Honestly, Nicky, at this point, you should just leave this lot. You should just put this up so people can see this.
What? Put what up?
You violently searching through our Discord.
I just...
The moment, apparently, we've turned into the worst episode of Black Mirror ever.
Revolver Ocelot.
What
I
happened?
mean, hey, I'll settle for being a terrible episode of Black Mirror. We're on Netflix.
The moment when the stream turns into the worst episode of Black Mirror. Yeah, are we at Netflix now? Hi, internet.
Oh god. I'm going back through our on our personal server in the writing corner. Salem runs a Krispy Kreme.
Oh yeah, Salem runs a
Oh,
Krispy
yeah.
Kreme, and Ozpin. Sorry, was that Roman runs a tax shelter orphanage.
Let's not
Wait,
talk
isn't that
about
what
that.
we're doing with our fic? No, wait, no, not Roman.
No.
We're just having Cinder kill Hospital.
Yes.
Hmm.
Spoilers, but yes.
I mean, it's not like anybody here reads our fic.
A couple people do actually.
Not
Okay.
amongst these people. Do you think Faceless reads our fic?
I
Or Birdie?
Yes.
this is
Well, Faceless does. Moth
If
does.
Birdie reads our shit, she'll puke.
Probably.
So there you go. Faceless doesn't even know who I am.
I don't understand.
this is bothering me.
Where did it go? Oh!
This is almost as bad as when my fucking Amazon order email is just like, hey, so we changed the time on the email without
Sneaky,
telling
can you.
you.
Go back through your emails and see if you can find it?
That's what I just did, and I couldn't find it. Okay, here's our. Wait.
It existed.
Wait.
Me read your fic.
There are emails missing.
Or was
Sneaky,
it always...
have you been drunkenly deleting things?
No, I don't delete emails.
No, like we've got emails from like, oh god, Atin,
What?
our fic is a year old.
Yes.
How did I completely miss that?
Which means we need to get the chapter out there.
Let's do a celebration. Let's all go out and eat sushi and get shot.
Look, I can only do one of those in Chicago.
Wait, you don't have any sushi place nearby?
No.
Hey, did you go for the wine tasting I told you to go
I
for?
would not trust a sushi place in Chicago, man.
I wouldn't either.
Oh.
I live by Lake Michigan.
Oh.
God, that's right. No. I think around the time that we put that chapter out, this was still when fanfiction.net was like, sorry, the review system is still kind of busted, so a lot of authors aren't getting alerts for their story reviews.
No, but we absolutely got it.
No. I remember specifically
sent me
because
a
I was
message
at work when I got
email.
that review, and I looked at it and sent you a text, I think, saying, what the fuck?
No. You just it was definitely a. Let me go. I mean, I don't have a match.
Check your text messages, Max. It's gotta be somewhere.
I don't think I got a text message from you. I think you only sent that to
Yeah,
Atin.
no, you sent it to me and I passed it on to Max.
Oh. The only fic Sneaky's ever tried to read was that weird PHO fic he had on Sufficient Velocity, and it started as a shit show, so I aborted. It started as a shit show. I mean, yeah, it was a shit show the whole time, but I don't know what you mean by it started as a shit show. Yeah, all of my fics are shit shows.
No, all I have is the only message I have from you is that you were at the police station getting fingerprinted for your job. The officer named E. Dix walked in.
Yeah.
Then several messages back and forth of both of us trying to make sure the other's not dead and or is going to show up in the podcast.
Yeah, this is weird. This is actually like, okay, let's just keep going, I guess, and just...
No, look, we're almost done. Let's just end the stream. Max and I will get our new chapter done. You can desperately search the logs.
Alright, we'll save this story for next time, then.
Damn it.
Alright, so actually, we got about, 10 or so minutes left, so instead of actually covering a story...
What the fuck?
What?
Nice background.
Thank you. I made it.
Well done. Quite surprised it doesn't say never forget your mom's spaghetti, but okay.
Well, it's kind of a more serious, somber background, so...
No, it's not. Fuck you.
Does not compute, is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Oh god, I hate having to dig through logs between any logs I have between Atin and between Sneaky, They suck having to
Wait.
dig through because I just
Faceless,
dumped loads
why
of
the hell do
pictures.
you... What? Just... Why are
What
you
Faceless said?
reading the conversations that happen after the fic chapter? Just read the fic chapters! What are you doing? The story I posted on Sufficient Velocity, Faceless was apparently reading the after chapter conversations and was like, I don't like these conversations, so I'm not going to read more of the story. I'm just sitting here like, do people actually read the conversations after chapters? Like, am I the weird one here? Do I just only read the chapters of a story. I don't...
Same. I barely ever read the reviews and shit either.
Yeah, like I don't participate in the conversations afterwards.
Oh my god. I'm just sitting here holding page up in one of the Discord chats.
Well, Max, that's your fault for.
Oh well, there's several chapters now, Faceless. So I mean, it's still dead. It's probably never gonna get anywhere farther because I was in a pretty bad place when I was writing that story. I'm not saying I'm not in a bad place anymore. I'm just saying I'm not in that place.
You're in a far better place than you were like a month ago, at least.
Yeah, so
Well-
I have a job now.
Yes.
I'll return to checking it out. Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm not gonna say it's great. It's passable. It's like 3 chapters long, but yes. So words. So the topic for today's after closing hours minutes thing was gonna be, let's see. Let's talk Star Wars because we've been doing that a lot today.
Oh, good. I'm still angry.
So, in everyone's opinions, what would you have to do to cross a non-sci-fi story into Star Wars? The Star Wars universe. So, say,
Don't.
Worm character or a Naruto character or, you know, etc. Harry Potter character into Star Wars.
Well, here's the thing. Even if you put in characters like here's the thing. Because Star Wars is a giant galaxy, even if you put in someone broken like Endgame Naruto, by which I mean like mid-fight Kaguya popped out of the universe for whatever reason, there's only so much he can do. Because he still has to deal with travel power. Like, even if he was like, I'll wipe out all the Separatist battle droids, it's impossible. Because he's still got to go from planet to planet, wiping them out. And as dumb as it sounds to say this, one planet by one planet, he can't stop them. Does that make sense?
Damn it.
No.
Why do I do this with my friends? I just dump amazing art to you guys, and it makes it harder when I'm trying to find shit by hand. Why do I do this to myself?
If it gets on people freaking out over ridiculous tech, that could be more fun. Fish out of water stories can be pretty good. Yeah, honestly, I think specifically, especially with Naruto and other power tiers like that sort of story, it's really hard to not end up in a One Punch Man scenario. Because in Naruto, you still have characters that can, at least until the very end, you still have characters that can actually put up a fight against Naruto. And if he ends up in the Star Wars verse as anything but, like, pre-Genin, he'll fucking steamroll everyone.
Yeah, but Ziggy, here's the thing. Even if he'll steamroll everyone, there's still only so much he can do.
I know there's only so much you can do, but it like I said, it's going to end up in a One Punch Man scenario where a lot of people who are going to be doing these crossovers, and as we've seen, a lot of people who try these crossovers try to make it like an action-packed, like, these are the fight scenes, and it's like, but there's really not going to be one.
Honestly, the problem is I can think of offhandedly maybe 5 people in the Star Wars universe that can stand up to Naruto. Like after he stops being a Genin.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it's like that's the reason specifically why we did what we did with the Ruby story, and I guess it's working out for us. But with Star Wars, you do have the problem of it's no longer just in one city or on the continent. It's now like space. And like even beyond Mass Effect, because Mass Effect still kind of focuses more on like a certain spot on a continent of a specific planet. These events are occurring. Like Mass Effect, even though it's doing the whole space thing, is still like more focused in one specific area. Star Wars in general is like, yeah, things are happening across all the planets, and like this book is going to be a look into this one specific character doing this one thing. But also other things are also happening everywhere else. And so when you're trying to write a Star Wars story, there's a lot of fail points for an author. A lot more fail points for an author. Because now they have to know a lot more to start off with. And there's a lot less butterfly effect going on, too. Would you agree with me on that?
Thing. There is and there isn't, because the individual impact a person can have is limited. So you have to focus on what their appearance means overall. So take, for instance, let's just go with the example of Naruto, okay?
Yeah.
You suddenly have this super powerful person show up who, for all intents and purposes, is some kind of amazing force god.
Right.
Because here's the thing, even if they can't detect normal chakra, they will 100% know when he's using nature chakra, because that's life energy, and the force is life energy.
Right, exactly.
So him popping into Sage mode, even on some places hellish as Coruscant, every Jedi and Sith, pretty much in the galaxy, based on the level of power he displays, would be like, what's with the giant glowing beacon?
Right.
Giant
So
glowing
you have to
beacon.
be looking at what that would do and the effects that would have.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's fair enough. But again, it does sort of like say it's not Naruto though. Say it's let's go with someone who's not magical. Ruby. Say Ruby ends up in Star Wars. She's not going to be a giant glowing force beacon. Maybe she'll set off some alarms to Jedi and Sith near her, but then again, that's again going to be just generally anyone that crosses over into Star Wars is going to be like, this person's using unknown technology / Endor magic / Endor force in ways we've never seen before. This is odd. Obviously, it's going to be talked about. There's obviously going to be some butterfly effects from it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but it's harder, especially because like, in order for someone to make that is actually, despite how one of the reasons Star Wars can get away with having such, relatively speaking, overpowered characters like Revan and
Right.
Luke Skywalker and Darth Bane, is because, yeah, those characters are terrifyingly powerful. But
For Star Wars.
well, yeah, I was gonna say, even for Star Wars, it's a big nasty galaxy.
Yeah.
You know, there can be some guy living on Tatooine in the middle of the Jundland Wastes who has no fucking idea who Luke Skywalker is.
Exactly.
Who doesn't even know that the Empire's dead.
Would they even notice Ruby? I mean, apparently powerful force users get dropped off on desert planets and are never noticed until plot. See, that's the thing, though. That's what I'm saying, though, is like, Ruby is an actually great example of a character that would not make that much butterflies. Yes, sir, she can move fast. So can Jedi. Okay, so she's got martial training. So do Jedi. She's got a gun. Okay, that's a bit archaic, but so does the normal trooper. And on top of that, her gun's going to be hyper limited because it's going to shoot dust rounds, which flat out don't exist in Star Wars. And if someone even tries to mention using conjuring crystals as dust rounds, they're gonna execute her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not to now, while her gun can just use conventional bullets, she'll be outstriped by literally everyone with any kind of Star Wars-based kinetic weapon.
Well, I mean, not
Because
only
while they
that,
don't
you also gotta
use
keep
them
in
that
mind that lasers are faster. Lasers are fast. Like, yes, they're technically plasma, but they're still pretty damn fast, all things considered.
faster than a bullet.
Especially the larger ones that get shot magnetically faster. But like, then it comes to the scale aspect of Star Wars, and it comes to the scale aspect of pretty much all sci-fi, but Star Wars especially because they do make a showing of in the non-movies, air orbital bombardment being a thing. Talos.
Well, no, even in Episode 3, there was a ton. Episode 3 had orbital bombardment. Coruscant got bombed to hell.
Yeah, that's true enough. But you know, it's like, what's Ruby gonna do against a quad turbo laser from the sky?
Hope she's in flower petal form at that given moment. That's about it.
Yeah, like
she's gonna iframe through it.
she's gonna hype. She's gonna detrain Dark through it.
No, she's gonna iframe through the entire thing.
She'll detrain Dark it.
D-Train Dark.
But,
Also, yes,
like,
everybody in the chat is now a sub. You're welcome.
thank you.
Hey.
But like the thing is, you know what I'm saying. Like, what is Ruby really going to accomplish? What is a character that isn't like Naruto or Goku or maybe even Harry Potter if you swing it that way? Because I still haven't found what I'm looking for as a fucking amazing story. But like, without these characters from these series that are pretty much overpowered as all hell when put into a scenario where no one else has those powers. What are they actually going to accomplish? Not much.
But I was gonna say that's when the author has to switch to telling
Havoc side of the
story
force, yeah, that too.
from the perspective of something more like the Republic Commando books,
Right.
where they have to keep you interested with more of the interpersonal drama. Because in the Republic Commando books, we see very little commando-ing. With the exception of what was the one where they were on Coruscant?
Sorry, I've been digging through messages. What have I missed? I found nothing, by the way. What I missed? What about Coruscant?
I was asking which Republic Commando book were they on Coruscant in?
The second one.
Yeah.
I don't remember the title.
Yeah, no, like, you're gonna have to change your genre. You're gonna have to change your focus. You're gonna have to change the events and the scaling of what's gonna happen.
Because realistically, let's say Ruby shows up. The only way that Ruby's going to be able to make any kind of significant difference is if she fundamentally. You have to focus on a character basis. She has to be able to interact with and help redefine a character in some way.
Yeah.
Maybe by reminding Anakin Skywalker about the power of friendship and listening to his trusted friends and maybe confiding in them, she gets him to not go to the dark side.
Darth Rose!
Please God.
I mean, I don't know. Ruby joins Revan's party fic would be pretty interesting.
That could be interesting. But like, or, you know, if you want to go real insane with it, let's say Yoda finds her, Yoda knows there's a horrible darkness, and Yoda decides to be, in one of his more Machiavellian moments, he decides to take this, not quite a Jedi, and tell her to hunt down the Sith.
Sorry, I missed something in the Discord. What?
Apparently Birdie is going to be sharing her pictures of being a Team Skull member for the con that she's going to. But I mean, yeah, I think we've outlined some decent do's and don'ts for a Star Wars cross.
What
And
would you
just
say?
actually, really honestly, Star Wars in general, writing Star Wars fics in general, because I see so many fics that are like, this is a Revan story, and then it's like, okay, so basically got anything you want to make for Revan's character with some mild limiting guidelines. Okay, we're doing this. Oh, and it's dead because you didn't think ahead. Okay, that's actually a lot of stories, but I can't really blame them on just
What
being
would you
Revan.
say?
But
And one of the other problems with Star Wars is even when you take characters who are in their own settings ridiculously powerful, in Star Wars, they really might not be all that special. Like let's say you took, for instance, All Might, put him in Star Wars.
yeah,
He really isn't that big of a threat.
no,
Literally, any apprentice Jedi, as long as they don't lose their shit, could stop him because they can just hold him in place.
yeah. But so, and that wraps up the podcast for tonight. And thank you everyone for joining us once again on this magical journey of agony and substance abuse. And we will see you all next time on Tuesday, or alternatively Sunday when we do D&D. Oh, me doing D&D and other people I'm doing D&D with, not this crew, but Faceless will be there. As I was saying, D&D on Sundays, Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is GMT -5, will be our next little podcast, and we do this twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays. So, I can't really say buckle up and strap in because we're all done, but prepare yourselves because you are not prepared, for there is always more, and it always gets worse.